Bonnie and Mike Quinn, our dear friends.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Good morning, Clint.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
So you just sharing with me the wild day you had yesterday, and I'm pretty sure most of them over the last couple of weeks have been like that, haven't they?
Oh, yeah. As we get closer and closer, the event just, takes on a life, of course. And, we're just excited. And all these people are coming around and, want to, come alongside us, I think, just from the genesis of honoring our heroes, honoring those who selflessly serve our community, state, and country. This is a public tribute to all those that serve us. And, it's open to everyone. And we removed all the barriers. There's no cost. There's no cost to park. There's no, come and say thank you. And enjoy some phenomenal music. I mean, some phenomenal music. Not good, phenomenal.
So we kind of just jumped right in.
Yeah, I guess.
The cool thing, and then we got a lot to talk about. But the cool thing about what your event is, not why it exists, but you honor like all first responders, police officers, military. A lot of those events are specific to a military or specific to police or fire, but you guys honor everybody that is here to protect and serve.
It's unique. There's nothing else out there like that pulls everybody together like that. And we've had comments from each of those groups
veterans
that never experienced anything like this before.
I got a lot of events by veterans, but I've never been to one where veterans and first responders and active duty and EMTs, fire, police, all of them are brought together to be honored.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Basically, anyone in uniform is represented as far as what your appreciation is. Okay, let's for those that don't know, share with us why this event exists.
Bonnie?
Well, Rockin' for Heroes was created from a personal mission for Michael and I. We lost our son PJ in 2020 to bone cancer, and the last year of his life was very tough. And we had first responders at the house quite a bit, and they were wonderful and compassionate and professional and reliable, all the good adjectives. And when we lost PJ, it was very heavy on our hearts that we needed to say thank you to those groups because they made a big difference in our lives and in our son's life. At the same time, Michael's a Navy veteran, and we've all been longtime supporters of the military and our veterans and our Gold Star families. That's the four in Rockin' for Heroes: first responders, active military, veterans, and Gold Star families. So in wanting to say thank you, we decided to go big and acknowledge all these groups together. And the genesis began, before 2020 and in 2021, and we put it together in 3 months, I think, with the help of Steve Rakowski, who is our executive producer. He's been with us since we started, and he helped us launch it and grow it every year, and he's still running the show now.
So you started Rockin' for Heroes maybe summer of 21 then? Is that fair to say? Or late
fall? Well, early fall. Yeah,
I mean,
August.
the Genesis started in August, and you held it in October,
December.
maybe?
We had it December the first year. Yeah.
Wow. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
That's because we had Steve at the helm making it happen for sure. Yeah, right. And and others as well. But Steve is definitely
how God puts things in. He puts things on your plate with deadlines. Like we had this band that we had been following for a long time. They're internationally renowned. Leonard and Friends. They're the Chicago cover band. They're phenomenal, and they're they have 300 stops in the spring and fall tour. And,
wow.
And yeah, I mean, they're very, very busy and all over the country. And anyway, an opening came in December 10th, I think it was.
The close of their tour, their last tour date.
They said, "We got an opening. You have any interest?" I was chasing them down way before our son passed. And, it's kind of, the thing, a lot of us, I think, revisited, the music from our childhood. Right. And, we kind of put away our childish things and started a business and ran and worked and raised a family and all that. And now, we have time and we want to kind of revisit that music that we loved and that was kind of one of the reasons why I was following this band and chasing after them to come to Tucson. They said, we're not coming to Tucson. That ain't going to happen.
We're
Maybe
full.
Phoenix.
Our schedule's full.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. We'll come to Phoenix. We won't come to Tucson or whatever. But anyway, they called me. I said, hey, we got a cancellation. Do you have it? And I said, I'll take it. And I didn't know they're going to play in my backyard. They're going to play. We're going to come to your house, Clint. They're going to play at your house.
We played the cul-de-sac.
And literally, these things happened. And this was happening before my son passed. But then they called me after it passed. It was 6 months, 8 months later, and I said yes. I didn't even think. I didn't even tell Bonnie. And then I just said yes.
Yeah.
Send me a
Hey,
contract.
honey, guess what we're going to do?
Really, it was in our backyard, and then it was Bonnie. Bonnie said, "This is our opportunity.
Yeah.
This is our opportunity to say thank you. We'll do a public.
We
tribute."
got a band. We've got a mission.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
And then
we
a
got
Gold
the right
Star
people.
father,
We
a
got
Gold
the
Star
right
father
people.
that we've known. Bonnie talked about our involvement in the Gold Star community, and I don't think we can do enough for those people. Those
No.
who lost their family members in
Right.
service to our
Right.
country. And we've had a Gold Star father. There's a lot of Old Up With People alumni that are in, Dana Cooper and others that are involved in this as well, helping us put this together. But Bob Huff introduced us to Steve Rakowski, and God put all these things in place, and here we are. And we pulled the first one off. It went well. There was only about 700-800 people there.
It was right coming out of COVID, so we were trying
Yeah.
to pull people out of isolation
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
them unified again. And
Yeah, that was
this
December
was a great way to do
21.
it.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, and then what we found out, the big thing, the big aha moment was that our personal desire to thank those who selflessly serve us, that others wanted to come alongside and say thank you too, and other businesses wanted to come along and say we support that. I want to make a public announcement of my support for this community, these communities, right?
Especially in that time frame.
Yeah. Think about it.
Because there was a lot of folks that weren't necessarily buying that.
Yeah.
And that's part of our mission is to,
Yeah.
to kind of change that wave of discontent or dissatisfaction
Yeah.
with
Well-
these first responders and military, and they're all there to serve us regardless of anything.
Exactly.
So it's important.
And we've kind of come full, and that's what we want to do. Is we'll probably have 20 or so tents with various first responder communities, Marine Corps, all the armed services will be represented with, and invariably we want young folks to come in and see that there's possibilities for careers in public service, and that they're honorable careers, and that they should consider those.
Yeah.
Well, we've got one of those first responders, law enforcement officers right behind this wall, David. It was Marana PD and in the police department and in corrections. How long, David?
I was in law enforcement for 11 years.
Thank you.
Just 11 years.
Just 11 years. And when I actually started praying,
Thank you for your service, David.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for what
when
you guys
I
are
actually
doing.
started praying for him to be involved in what we're doing here, that was on that kind of weighed heavy on my heart because I knew he was good at what he did. We need people like him in that industry.
Right.
And I'm like, God, if this is your will, it will happen. If it's not your will, then he'll stay where he's at and serve the public. But I did convince him of this. You can serve more people doing what we're doing than you could as a police officer. In 36, you guys just did 36 years. You're married 36
Yes.
years, right?
Yeah, we
You
just had an anniversary.
Like last week, is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, how many times has he come to you and said, "Hey, Bonnie, guess what we're doing"?
And it's funny how many people say to me, not him, well, you must be a saint.
Yeah,
Because she puts up with me.
yeah. Well, she is.
And yet, really, it's truly the other way around. Most of the time.
Hey, Tammy and I
will
just
admit.
celebrated 33 years, and you know how many times I've went to her and said, "Hey, babe, guess what we're going to try? Guess what we're doing?"
Yeah.
I had a guy yesterday tell me he wanted to do something, and he started laying it out for me, and it sounded great. He's like, "When should I start doing it?" I'm like, "You like yesterday? What are you waiting for? If you've got a passion for something, right?
Yeah.
Start doing something towards that, like right now. Don't wait for everything to
Amen.
line up."
That's right.
We were very unified in wanting to do this.
Yeah.
This was a mission in our personal grief experience.
Exactly.
And it's become much bigger than that now. And that's a good thing. That means we're meeting our mission, right?
Yeah.
But it's helped us heal through
Yeah.
our grief.
Yeah.
It really has.
Yeah,
And
that's
to
tough.
turn our heart outwards.
Because
instead of
how I picture PJ.
inwards.
when he first started driving.
And you knew
he had
PJ. You
and
knew
he
PJ.
had like it was maybe a brown or bronze.
Honda Element.
Yeah,
Square box.
and he'd
Skater
he'd
PJ
been
was
yes,
his license
but he had
plate.
been diagnosed and he had cancer sucked on the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bumper sticker. That's kind of how I remember. And then our daughters have known each other for
Sure.
Yes, they have.
Since they were little.
yeah,
they
since
were
they
real
were
little.
little kids.
Yeah.
So
I remember, I'll tell a funny story about
Please.
PJ. So for those that don't know, he had osteosarcoma, which is a form of bone cancer, and it initially formed on his femur. And they had to cut 7 inches of his femur out and take his knee and put a prosthetic knee and a titanium rod. And so here's a 17-year-old skinny kid, tall, skinny kid, limping around. But anyway, I remember he would tell me that he would park in a handicap spot to go into Fry's, and some little old lady would like start barking at him. And he'd say,
I just never
and he
know
would
why
say-
people park in handicap spots.
And he would like pull up his leg
Yeah,
pants
yeah.
and go, "This is why." They
Yeah,
would show him this
he'd
like
show,
big
yeah,
scar.
yeah.
He used to tell all the girls he had this real long
Yeah.
scar on his thigh, and he would tell all the girls, it was shark attack. I was, I was in the water and a shark attacked
A little more
me.
exciting.
that's
But
that
anyway.
actually is a funny story.
Yeah.
Okay, November 10th. We're going to
Sunday, November
We want to
10th.
make sure we plug
Yeah.
the date a whole
Sunday,
bunch.
November 10th. Gates open at 12:30. You might want to get there a little early. It's open lawn seating. Bring a folding chair. We'll have 12 food trucks or so, a beer and wine tent for those that imbibe. And
Tell them about Smooch.
with Smooch the Donkey, we have a
Yep.
kids zone this year. We'll have Bonnie bought a huge.
It's a life-size Connect 4 game.
Yeah, I don't know
Remember
what they
Connect
were.
Yeah,
4? It's
yeah,
a
oh, yeah.
Do you
tic-tac-toe.
remember those?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, so fun. I really wanted it for myself,
Yeah.
but I think I'll let the kids zone use it.
James
for the
Craig
concert.
Park.
James
Oral-
Craig Park,
Oral
right
Valley.
next to CDO High School.
Yeah. Yep.
Plenty of parking, plenty of free parking, free admission. You just got to bring your own chair, like
Yeah,
Mike
we
said.
gotta-
And it's also the 249th birthday of the Marine Corps, so
Marine
we're
Corps,
real
yeah.
excited about that. We're gonna have a little celebration for that as
Yep.
well.
And
Lots of good things happening
Yeah.
that day.
And how many food vendors?
well, about
10.
12 food trucks,
Okay.
10, 12 food trucks. I mean, some kettle corn, one or two, but we got the Chicago hot dog guy
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, really great.
Fork
He's
and
done
Fire.
well. Fork and Fire Barbecue.
Highfalutin. Oh gosh, Jeremiah's Water Ice.
That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
We got plenty of food.
And we couldn't
Lots
do
of
this
options.
without our sponsors and
Yeah.
folks at American Furniture Warehouse, and who came on as our title sponsor. Great
Yay.
people. What a wonderful organization they are, and HSL Properties,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
We had Humberto in here last week.
Did you?
know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's
Yeah.
such a great
He's-
man.
and
We
he-
are so blessed as a community to
Great
have somebody,
guy.
and what they do for Gospel Rescue Mission and all that. You know that, and they just have a heart for this
Yeah.
community. They're wonderful
You
people.
know, that's when Tammy and I moved from Phoenix in 2002 here. This is my hometown now.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't born or raised here, but
Right.
I've spent more time in the house we live in right now than any place I've ever lived
yeah,
at one time.
yeah.
So
It's amazing.
And I remember a good friend of mine, Rick Peralt, when I first moved here. He goes, "Clint, this is the biggest small town you'll ever live in."
Yeah.
And I said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "Everybody knows everybody."
Yeah.
And everybody
That's nice.
everybody knows everybody. You can't go out in public anywhere in this valley. I know you can't without knowing somebody.
Yeah, you're always running into someone.
You'll be over on the east side somewhere and, "Hey, what's going on, Mike, Bonnie?" Right?
right.
It's kind of crazy. So got to be on your best behavior at all time.
Yeah, and anyway, I want to get back to the events because
Oh,
just make
please.
sure we got all the specifics across. So it's Sunday, November 10th, James Creek Park, which is right next to CDO High School. Gates open at 12:30. Music will have
Mark Miller Country.
Band. Mark Miller Country Band
Mm-hmm.
opens. And then we have our formal opening ceremony, and then we have Lexington Lab Band, like Lexington, Kentucky. And folks can go on YouTube and check out Lexington
They're
Lab.
good.
They're exceptional.
Yeah,
They're
they really
really,
are.
really good.
80s classic rock cover
Yeah,
band, and they
yeah.
are superb. They're so diverse. If there's not something there that you didn't listen to back in the day, then
Yeah.
You weren't listening to music. There's going to be something for everybody. It's going to be a lot of
it's going
fun.
to be great, a lot of fun, and there's also a serious tone to that. And our mission, obviously, is to honor those heroes. And each year we honor specific individuals. And this year, the first year, it's interesting. The first year, because this kind of leads into how our Hero Fund developed and how we've, raised funds. By the way, we're a nonprofit 501c3. We're all volunteers. There are no salaries, no real estate, it's an office account, an accountant, and a few other expenses, and everything else is pretty much run out of the house. And we have meetings, but our whole team is all volunteer, and we're just grateful for all their efforts. It's amazing how people come around and get involved and bring their expertise to events like this.
We've been able to add a whole communications team this year. I'm going to name them. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they've been a game changer for us. So we have Kim Kimbriel doing our public relations.
Kimbriel marketing.
Yep. And then we have Kathy Sinat and Pat Johnston who are doing our videography and photography and social media, which, as you know, is a game changer. And I was really struggled with that. So we're really fortunate. And then we have Eric Christensen who he had been to our first 3 events and came up to us last year and said, I can help. I can help you with your website and
getting more traffic
and your Google search words and all of that. And that communications team coming together has just been a game changer for us. We're really blessed. And we just continue to be surrounded by these people like Mary Murphy,
right.
so energized and so skilled. And they're embracing our mission because it's a very pure mission, right? So there's a lot of people that want to be involved in that, and we're just so blessed. We would not be on year 4 expecting 4,000 people
and growing
if we didn't have this team.
Our mutual friend Chris DeSimone, who will be in a little bit later today, says all the time,
I love Chris.
Good people doing the right thing, God just will provide.
Amen.
He will always just make sure that there are ways to excel at what you're doing. He'll put the right people in your place. And we're all living proof of that, correct?
Amen.
I mean, the people that I just think about the people I know, a lot of them are the same people you know. Like I talk to Ed all the time, it's like your network is your net worth.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's true, and I believe it to be true, then
you're a rich man.
You're It's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life at the end with the toast to my brother, the richest guy in town. Yeah. If you've got the right people in your life, you're truly blessed.
So how are we on time? We okay?
We're good. Oh, yeah, we're good.
All right. So
I wanted to follow up on something you said a second ago, though. When we grow up, our music kind of like stops at a certain point, and I don't think I know any new music past like 1990.
Yeah. Well, and that was another thing PJ did. He brought this music to us, and Jacob did it too. Jacob Dittinger. We'll talk about that, but we bring a song to you when you're 13 years old. They would come running up.
Yeah,
check this song.
Yeah,
put these earbuds in.
Yeah,
listen to this.
Yeah.
I saw them live. What? And he thought it was something original. He had found this song. From the Allman Brothers. Who knows what? Traffic.
Oh, he brought an ELO song to me. He said, "Have you ever heard of this group, ELO?" Wait, let me think a minute. No, you mean
Electric
ELO?
Light Orchestra.
Yeah. Very good band, by the way.
And a really cute story about Jacob Dittinger, who's the fallen EMT whose family we have honored and created an EMT scholarship at Pima Community College in his honor. It's called the Jacob Dittinger Memorial Scholarship for EMT Studies. He came up to his parents one day and he said, "You guys got to hear this song," and he played a Guns N' Roses song, "Sweet Child of Mine," and they were like, "Oh." So his father Jim went and got the concert tickets from when they saw him 20 years ago.
20 years before they had the ticket stubs.
Yeah.
Do I know this song? We were there.
Yeah, we were there. Hey, you've and I can't think of her name right now. Moon.
Marsha Moon.
Marsha. Yeah, and.
Sharon Jones.
Sharon Jones.
Yeah. I knew Chris when he was just a little kid. He was playing baseball for my buddy who I mentioned a while ago, Rick Peralt. And he was just the littlest kid in the bunch. He was just, and he grew to be a warrior. He was just a beast that would be playing Major League Baseball right now had he not have joined the military and gave his life for our country. So when I saw you guys with her the other day, or them the other day, Mom and Dad, the Moon, that was like
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
That's tough stuff.
That's what you think about. We've been involved with the Gold Star community for over 20 years. We've served nationally. I've served on 2 boards nationally, and we've given resources and time to serve that community. And that actually comes back to Dana Cooper. Dana introduced me to Bob Huff, and was a Gold Star father. Lost his daughter, Sam Huff, who was a graduate of
Mountain
View High School. Right here, was deployed and unfortunately was killed 4 months later. And you know, I'm a little skeptical of people sometimes and my resources. Right. And they would come when I had my businesses and you know, hey, you can donate to this cause or donate to that cause. But I'll tell you what, once Gold Stars approached me, I thought I can't. That all that skepticism went away, and it was such a pure I want to help them.
Yeah.
And there's not enough. Once the government hands them the folded flag, they're out. There's no support.
Yeah.
There's nothing. And those people struggle a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's so
then invariably,
wrong.
what was crazy was that God. I think God had us a plan, right? And that we were serving this community, and then my son took sick, and then we then turned around, and those friends that a lot of those Gold Stars throughout the country, and many of them are coming to the event, flying in just for this event. They come and support us, and they came around us, and it was all of a sudden, it was, the tide was turning. They were helping us.
Right.
We were doing grief support workshops for Gold Star families 15 years ago, all around the country, and then came our need.
Yeah.
And God had His plan is perfect, and put that on us. But I want to talk a little bit about the heroes. I think that's important because I mentioned that we each year we honor a family, and the first year we were able to connect with the Didinger family, and Jacob was the EMT who was tragically shot and killed in Tucson in 2021, and they were only 6 months into their loss when we had an opportunity to meet them. One of the organizations I served on was the Honor and Remember Board of Directors, and they provide hand-embroidered flags, these beautiful flags to fallen service members' families, Gold Stars, and an honor and sacrifice flag for the first responder community and fallen first responders. So those, and they're keepsakes, hand-embroidered with their loved ones' names on them and stuff like that. And the flags, each flag has very specific meaning of the various colors and the things. Actually, the state of Arizona, the Honor and Remember flag is the official flag for our fallen. It flies at the many of the municipal flagpoles. It's been adopted by about 26 states around the country. They're working to make that the official symbol of our nation's military fallen. We don't have one. And this was started by a Gold Star dad in Virginia, and we support them. And anyway, so going back to 21, and we identified them, and we had an opportunity, and being involved in a lot of events and being involved as different organizations, and I had the opportunity to meet people, and I never felt comfortable saying to someone, hey, listen, you don't know me, over the phone, I need you to come to this event, we're going to honor you, and you're going to meet, there's all these strangers, you're not going to know anyone, and we're then going to hand you a thing and then shuffle you off the stage, okay? It just, didn't sit right with me, so I wanted to meet them personally beforehand, and God, it was just something telling me, I need to do that, and we did that with the family, and they were, we share with them our story about our loss of our son, and so we have a common, thread there, and anyway, and we had the event, and we presented them with the flag, and that went well, and we stayed friends with them.
Yeah. So they'll be at the concert this year, and it'll be be wonderful having them there. Yeah.
And each year we've done that. Every year, we find a fallen service member or a fallen family that has not received that flag, and we try to hold them up and honor them. We have a Vietnam veteran, a Korean War veteran that we're honoring as well. And this year we have.
We also have a Community Hero Award we'll be presenting to Chief Tom Brandhuber with Golden Ranch Fire District. So we're very excited about that. What a wonderful man.
Yeah.
What else is going on, Mike?
The Hero Fund.
The Hero Fund, yeah. So one of the things we started this year to more streamline our way to support our heroes when the concert's over is we created this hero fund so that all the net proceeds we raise, especially on event day, because even though the event is free to enter into, there's multiple ways to support our heroes once you're there. The 50-50 raffle is one of them, so we got to bring cash for the 50-50 raffle. Everything
cool
else,
merch
everything
tent.
else is credit cards, but the 50-50 you got to have cash to win cash. Yeah, we got some great merchandise, Rockin' for Heroes merchandise. We have these really cool guitar pick earrings this year that have
Rockin'
the
for Hero
Heroes
guitar
logo
pick earrings.
because it's a concert, So and that's made by.
Wonder who had
it's a
anything to
wo-
do influence that.
It was his idea. No, it wasn't. So that's Groovy Accents. That's a local company. And all she makes is guitar pick earrings, and they are so cool. I think they're very cool. They're going to be a big seller. So, like I said, there's multiple ways to continue to support our heroes when you're there, even though it's free to get in. Okay, so those net proceeds go into our hero fund, and the hero fund allows us to support our heroes long after the music's
Right.
ended through existing initiatives whose mission we align with, and then our
Like
own
Strength and Shield.
original, Strength and Shield,
You
which
know
is a
the-
chaplaincy program for Marana Police and for multiple police departments. That's pillars of support and chaplaincy programs for law enforcement offices. That's a great program. Dogs for Vets, which is trains your own pet to be a service dog for veterans with PTSD. Reads Across America, the Walter Reed Christmas card program. Lots of different ways that we try to make an impact throughout the year. And that Hero Fund is how we do it. And that's what happens on event day, that we continue to fundraise and get to do that. So the scholarship, the Jacob Didinger Scholarship, is part of the Hero Fund.
Thank you, Bonnie, for bringing that up, because this isn't just Rockin' for Heroes isn't just an event in the fall.
That's how it
a
started.
concert.
That's how
it
it
is
started.
a year. It's a
mission.
It's a mission that's year long.
Yeah.
It's around the clock, and
Yeah.
you're supporting. You threw a lot of names in there. Some I recognized, some I didn't. Of people and groups and organizations that you're supporting. So see, now how can they reach you? Is websites and all that information?
RockinForHeroes.org. It's Rockin, ROCKIN, for heroes.org.
I hear the music. Hey, we're going to come back just real quick, wrap up here, David, but let's just throw a real quick ad set in there. Hang tight, Mike and Bonnie. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Good job.
No problem.
Hey, we are back. Thank you to all of our advertisers. We appreciate and love all you guys. Okay. Let's kind of put a bow on this thing here.
Put a bow.
Put a bow on this bad boy.
November
So,
10th.
Yes, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. It is a Sunday, not
Yeah.
a Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, November 10th. Gates open at 12:30.